In this tutorial, I'd like to talk about packaging. What do I mean by packaging? When we build this project, as I showed in the last tutorial, it builds it into a jar file. Now we may want to change that. We may not want to produce a jar file. We may want to deploy it onto an application server as a web archive file because we've got a web application. Maven makes this pretty easy for us, but at the same time, how do we do it? Because we don't have anything specified in the POM for packaging at the moment. Well, the default is to package the project up as a jar. To change that is quite simple. We just add another XML element here. And then we have a drop down, select package or packaging. And then if you do Control Space, you should see a drop down list. The options are we can produce an EAR file for an enterprise archive file, an EJB jar, which is our default, and then we'll skip down to the archetype and the Maven plugin. POM is very interesting, we'll come back to that in a moment, but here we've got the WAR file. So let's select that. We actually want to turn this project into a web application. Okay, now we've modified the POM, we need to save it. And there we have it. Once we've saved it, you notice that the Eclipse plugin has run and picked up the packaging type change, and it's applied the web application facet. Also, when Maven builds the project, it will look at the packaging type, and from the packaging type it determines the goals that are run within the build lifecycle. If we go back to the packaging type and we do Control Space again, you see an option here of POM. Why would you have a packaging type of POM within a POM? It's basically a container for submodules, and each submodule is represented by a subdirectory in the same directory as the pom.xml file. Now this goes into the realms of multi-module projects, but I just wanted to show you that for now because I expect you'll be wondering why would you have POM packaging within a POM XML file. That's it for packaging now. Over the last couple of tutorials we've seen the introduction of the POM or project object model, and we'll see a lot more of that during the course as it's the hub of all the configuration for our Maven project. We've seen how Maven identifies a project through the Maven coordinates, which are the group ID, the artifact ID, the version, and also the packaging type. We've also briefly looked at different packaging types. But in the next tutorial, I'm going to start quite a large subject or topic of Maven, which is the build lifecycle. We'll be looking at what is a build lifecycle, what it's made up of, and how to execute a build lifecycle, and also how to customize the build lifecycle to meet our requirements.